The Grand Haven Area Community Foundation brought together several of the service organizations in the community to give us the opportunity to say where the greatest needs were so that funds could be directed towards those greatest needs.
They are excited about what we're doing, they want to know more, they want to know the impact, and they want to partner.
Partnerships with the community are absolutely key, particularly this past year through COVID. The communication level between this organization and our outside partners is fantastic.
This pandemic has brought out so many things that we wouldn't have thought of 2 years ago. One of the things that I was very impressed with was the ability to have funded a pool of money for nonprofits, because of course nonprofits were very much in peril during this thing.
Needing to respond to everything that came about with COVID. The Grand Haven Area Community Foundation quickly partnered with others in the county to pool our resources, raise money, and get that money out into the community as quickly as we could, keeping people fed, housed, and healthy.
The job for the Community Foundation staff was to be at the intersection of people who wanted to do good in the community and grant-making organizations who had a great idea how to do that good.
The Grand Haven Area Community Foundation has been a pivotal part of the People Center. We were started with their assistance. The People Center provides food and clothing for families of the Tri-Cities and smaller surrounding communities. We also have transitional housing.
It is our mission to offer hope and healing by providing accessible and affordable professional mental health services. And one of the most amazing relationships that we have is with the Grand Haven Area Community Foundation, and we have for decades.
Housing Next was launched in collaboration with Holland Zealand Community Foundation and so many other partners coming to the table. Families have housing that they can afford in a safe area. Everything else in their life seems to fall better in place.
When we have either financial barriers or political barriers, they're at the table with us. So it's not just Housing Next out there on their own, it's really the staff and all of the team, the board members at the Grand Haven Area Community Foundation.
We find that the families we service need to be able to live in the community that they work in. It is almost impossible for them to live here and work here in those service industry jobs.
Housing Next was established a few years ago to focus on the need for affordable housing for everyone in the community.
What we want to be doing is thinking about how do we ensure that those households who are on the edges have those wraparound support services to ensure that childcare is an option, to ensure that medical and healthcare are on the table for them, but also to ensure that there is an adequate amount of housing so that they can make choices in the system. They're not just providing philanthropy and then turning their head away from the project that they're investing in, but they're staying at the table to have deep conversations. The Grand Haven Area Community Foundation thinks big picture. They look deep into the future to understand what are the problems we're dealing with today, and if we solve those, what are we creating for the long-term future?
I have always witnessed the foundation being so hands-on, and they know what the trends are. They know what the needs are going to be.
Greatest Needs Fund is established to provide responsive grant making to whatever is most critically needed at that point in time.
We can trust and hope for is that the answers and the responses coming out of the Community Foundation are rooted in what's best for the greater good.
If I had an opportunity to talk to a donor from the foundation, I would first and foremost thank them for all that they do for our community.